Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings, where we have mostly put back together our realm, and now we of course have additional factions. Now I'm not sure how many of these are real. We need to take a look at that, and let's let this recalculate here. Nosewise had run away. Okay, sure. So let's see what happens with the recalculation here. Okay, so there's this independence faction, that's at 63% right now. That's actually going to be going down. This peasant rabble is going to remain. The independence faction is going to be... Okay, it recalculates further. Got it. So the independence faction is going to happen. I knew there was one faction that was going to happen here. This peasant rabble is kind of irrelevant. Everything else is fine. And get out of here with all these ransoms. I wish we could just set a flag to deny all ransoms at a certain point. That would be nice. But unfortunately, that's not something that we have an option to do. But this independence faction is going to happen. And the King of England appears to be the primary target here. So we're going to drop a rally point here. We're going to raise all of our forces there. Every single one. We're 2 direct vassals above right now, and we can swing the scales of power. We definitely should do so. We're going to do that. How old are we? We're 12? Okay. Seems manageable. So top priority is, of course, stopping this faction. Then we're going to work on things like the Byzantines. This guy learned Arabic. Good job. That seems fine. So, I want to check in on this. 93%. Okay. They can send their ultimatum at any time. Now the question is, how long until our men-at-arms arrive? Any moment now. Come on, men-at-arms. You can do it. Maybe. Maybe the men-at-arms can do it. There they go. Phenomenal. So we're just going to continue to raise here for the time being. The real question is, when is this guy going to send his faction demand? He's given us a lot of time to raise. There it is. We will not be threatened. Okay. So war has, of course, been declared. We're going to stop our gather here, or more specifically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split off our siege force. So we're going to do something kind of like this. We're going to split off like 50k. So something like that. I want the bombards moved out, although I don't want that knight moved out. Come back here, you knight. Fantastic. And these guys are going to start up their siege, right? And they do that immediately upon spawning in the army. Now, I want a siege commander here. That is going to be this guy. Cool. So we'll get this siege underway, and we're continuing to raise the rest of our forces. We do see the enemy up over here. It would be pretty attrition-y to go there. The question we have to ask right now is he personally leading this? And he is. So that's probably worth doing. We would take attrition here and here. However, this one likely is going to go away. This is going to be in 8 days. Yeah. We're going to finish our gather here. Actually, we should stop finishing our gather right now. And, oh, that was exciting. A little bit of a freeze there, but that's okay. We're going to head on over, and this actually didn't go away on the attrition tick there. That's exciting. Well, we're going to hop on up, and we're going to fight this guy here. So that's fine. We're currently at 18% war score. We need to continue to grab what we can over here. We're going to win this battle, of course. But we need to get some attrition-safe areas dealt with here. So, where is he retreating to? We have no idea. And it's probably going to be somewhere out over here where we're not currently in a position to grab it. I was hoping we would have him taken over by now. And what is this? Orthodox populace in the Alps? That's a year out. That may not actually end up happening. We do see this force over here, and I would like to see about taking that over. Okay, we captured somebody. Kind of useful, probably. And we're just going to continue to siege down here for now. Now, ticking war score is on our side. I want to make sure that nobody is immediately threatening our capital, and that does indeed appear to be the case, so that's great. We're going to finish up this siege here. Regent in prison. No, we're going to veto that. And we see these guys down here working on embarkation. I want to head over this way. We're going to head up this way in siege for now. We're going to catch what forces we can out over this way. If any. We catch all of them. That's good. Okay, so this guy's the worst. We're going to pay him 5 gold. He does not bog off, sadly. But we win this battle over here. And we actually captured his brother. And we stack wiped him. Capturing his brother didn't actually help us in any meaningful way, sadly. So we're chilling at 43% war score right now. I want to head off over this direction and just checking in really quick here. Still 12 months on the Catholic Orthodox populace, and the peasant rabble, they're not a big concern. So for the moment, this seems okay. So the cap on occupation is 150. Ticking is on our side, and we're definitely making solid progress here. This is going to stack wipe. I'm assuming, yeah, that's not commanded by ruler. I'm not shocked about that. So that stack wipes. We can come down this direction as well. So that seems okay. I kind of want to come out over this direction and siege here, 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 and then come out over this way, perhaps. Okay, so we're at 54% war score. Actually, it just dropped down to 44 because they finished up a siege. That's okay. We are sieging rather quickly here, but they are starting to get some sieges of their own. This is not surprising, and we're going to finish up that and make our way on down like so. For the time being, we're going to be keeping the war score fairly even, I'm afraid. And we're going to want to head up over here. We are going to take attrition doing that, but we have to go where his army is, right? And that is commanded by ruler, so we have a decent chance of capping the ruler there, which is wonderful. We're going to go directly on in over here. That looks great. And we'll see what ends up happening here. That'll stack wipe, of course. And hey, we captured him. Beautiful. So the war is over. So we're going to enforce those demands and disband our troops. So with that done, now the question we have to ask is, are any of those other factions actually going to happen? Let's see here. Disillusion is actually strong enough right now. So are the Cisalpine Orthodox populace at the moment. Now, we're not shocked necessarily about the Orthodox populace being a thing. The Disillusion faction, I would really rather not. What can we do about this guy? So it's mostly West Francia who's the problem, right? We are underage right now. We're 13 at the moment. I don't suppose we can just negotiate with any of these guys. Probably not. Let's check on their faction commitment right now. This guy's actually at negative faction commitment. A lot of these are. Okay, we're going to let this tick forward for a moment here. These guys are leaving this faction. So the Disillusion faction is not a threat. Now the question is, the Orthodox populace? Not a threat. The only thing that's currently a problem is the peasant rabble. Peasant rabble is not an actual issue at this moment. So we don't actually care about the peasant rabble. The Byzantines we are truced to right now. There's nothing that we can do about taking this territory. However, we could start thinking about, say, Germany over here. That's an interesting kingdom invasion. Do we have other claims here that would work? No. What about Galicia Volhynia? A little bit of de jure territory. Okay. What would a kingdom invasion there look like? Actually, that would be pretty good too. So Galicia Volhynia is Orthodox, whereas Germany is Catholic. So if we're going to do a kingdom invasion, it should probably end up being on Germany with a holy war on Galicia Volhynia would be the idea here. And that would be our kingdom level claims out over here. Then on the Byzantines, we do a de jure. And that seems fine. So for now, we're going to go after Germany. That's the idea. We're going to raise up our powerful forces somewhere around here. We'll raise our men-at-arms and some levy troops. We're a little concerned about our domain limit. Actually, we can bring this down to 11 very, very easily by granting this off, and that's something that we should do. That'll boost up vassal opinion of us, at least, and direct vassals are probably not something that we can... Actually, we just won that war. We just won that war, so we can easily do something about this. So in theory, what we would end up doing is finding ourselves an imprisoned king. We can just go into here, right? So courtiers, prisoners, sort by rank. And then we've got, say, this guy. So that is the Kingdom of Sicily. So we'd revoke that title. One or more holdings are under siege. Unfortunately, we can't actually revoke that title right now because he's in another war. This is already grouped together, so that's not an option. This is already grouped together, so not an option. This one, we could certainly do. So this is Baghdad over here. So we would end up revoking his title. There we go. And we can grant that over to, say, Himalaya here. So that would be moved in over this way in... this sultanate, which is actually getting renamed. Okay, that seems fine. So that puts us at 2 direct vassals above, but there's a duchy rank realm right here that we can also grant over to this guy. So that's absolutely fine. That's 1 direct vassal above. And then we can look for someone else who rebelled against us. So that would end up being perhaps... I guess that guy's a prince. Okay, sure. That would end up being perhaps, say, you're already a double queen. What do we got here? This guy. This guy would work. It's a large kingdom already, but we would revoke this title, which we can do completely for free because he rebelled. And then that could be granted into here. So we would grant this title with this Sultanate of Amdo. Phenomenal. And then we would also grant over this vassal. Like so. 1 direct vassal above. But we can transfer this one directly in. Perfect. Okay. So that will actually help our opinion quite a lot. And we'll see what ends up happening with these factions. I kind of don't expect anything to actually occur here now. So at this point, the peasant rabble is going to happen, but I don't consider that to be real in any meaningful way. We know that this guy has like 200,000 troops, so we should raise somewhere around like 250. He's separating out his forces a bit. That feels like a mistake. So we've got about 20 days until our men-at-arms show up. He has realized that it's a mistake, and he's grouping his men back together. Seems fine. People are scheming. I'm shocked. Utterly, utterly shocked. And we're going to split off a siege force, again, of about 50,000, just to keep them from casually attacking it. There we go. And we're going to head on in over, not with you guys. You guys are going to go fight. We're going to go fight up over here. There we go. And we're going to head on in over this way. The real question is, who do we have that can lead this? We definitely have a siege commander here somewhere. This guy will do. Cool. So in we go. Are any of these led by leader? Probably, if I had to guess. And we want to try to cut them off up over here. And continue to siege our way over to their capital. We could gain the trait Diligent or Gregarious. Diligent is probably good for us here for the +2 stewardship, or +3 actually. Yes. That brings us up to 11 of 10, which will further increase all of our vassals' opinion of us by 10. We need to get this disappeared. There we go. And we win this battle up here. No shockers there. What we want to do now is head into their capital with our siege force. They have a fair number of armies around here, and there's these guys up here as well. I want to move in down this way, and we'll see what happens when we take their capital. Not a whole lot is the answer. I was hoping that we would end up taking that over. or rather capturing their leader, but sadly that didn't happen. We're going to have to come up here and continue to give battle and continue to siege. That's completely fine. This is, of course, our territory out over here. So this is not a problem. We're going to catch his most powerful troops isolated here, and that's going to go very, very poorly for him. Okay, so we're going to grab down over this way. We're at currently a very nice percentage. Excellent. So we win that battle, putting us at 85% war score here. We actually stack wiped a force. That's kind of hilarious with our siege force. I like it. We're 89% right now. I'd like to turn around and fight these guys here. There's a scheme at court. Absolutely shocking. We catch half of that force, and the war's over. So we're going to enforce our demands here. And all of this territory is now ours. So we can get the Emirate of Amhalt here, which is a, well, that's a duchy tier realm. We would move that into what? The Sultanate of Germany? Yeah, so we can grant these vassals over to rightful liege, which we're absolutely happy to do. We do, of course, need to also get a bunch of domain here. Okay. So there's all of those moved over. We're one direct vassal above still, and we'll take a look at that here in a moment. Let's see here. This is a kingdom rank realm over here in Bavaria. That's fine. I'm not sure where that one vassal is, but it might be the Sultan of Germany up here. I don't know. For the moment, of course, what we need to do is we need to get the kingdom title over here. Well, this guy actually already holds it. So we need to hand out all of these to vassals and then hand all of them over to the king. It's going to be a kind of tedious process because of the way that this is done here. It's strange the way that that worked. I guess maybe we should have gone for de jure if we already had this. I don't know, but we have to revoke this, and that's fine for now. Okay, so we need these up here. Even if we did already hold the Sultanate of Germany, which I don't think we did, we can double check that. But even if we did, then this is still fine, right? I want to double check this. So title history. This guy inherited the title. Yeah, this is the guy that we were fighting against. We just vassalized him. Right? No. He inherited the title in November of last year. Weird. Okay, well, it doesn't really matter. We need to hand these over to rightful liege, of course. We are currently at like half of our actual strength because of our vassal limit. So we need to get this all handed on over. Okay, how many of those do we have left? 2? Looks good. There we go. Much better on the strength front. We're still one direct vassal above, and that probably exists around somewhere. But we could do a revocation. That's not a big deal. Like, we could combine these together, perhaps? Yeah, that looks good. So we'll revoke Buryatia here. Buryatia? I'm not sure how that's supposed to be pronounced. And we would grant that over this direction. Done. So there's that completed. So at this point, I want to check in on our factionalism again. All we've got is peasant rabble in 4 months. So that's really not bad. We can deal with peasant rabble with no real issues. We can attack this guy very, very, very easily by doing a holy war for kingdom. We will not get these de jure territories, which is mildly awkward, but we can get those after the truce is up. So that'll be fine. We will do this at this point. Orthodox rulers may join the war, but we don't actually care. So we're going to declare this war here, and we're going to raise up our forces over here. This should be a much smaller war, I think. So we'll look to raise only like 200,000. We do see enemy allies joining the war. 164 right now. Okay. 168. Yeah, not too bad. So we'll go for like 250. No problem. Cool. So we are going to have a peasant rebellion soon. That's not a big deal, and we will absolutely crush that. Let's get this siege completed. There we go. And we're going to just head on in. These sieges will definitely go faster. So that's great. When are we going to come of age again? We are 14 right now, so that's actually getting very close. I like it. So who will join this? Oh, the Byzantines. Okay, cool. No problem. So for now, this is okay. I do think we're going to stop moving, though, and we're going to split off our siege forces. Once again, about 50k to make it so that they can't just casually stack wipe it. And the rest of our forces are going to wander on up here while we go and siege over here. We will need a leader, of course, for our siege forces. And who do we got? A peasant's law is to serve their lord. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a moment. So who do we got here? This guy will do. Okay, so peasants. Peasants are, of course, going to be back in our personal domain. And we're going to drop a rally point right over here. We're going to raise all here. And how much do we totally need for this? Like 70k maximum? If they're all stacked together. So they're not going to be. So this is absolutely fine here. So we can do something kind of like this. We do need a new marshal, and that will be this guy. Phenomenal. And that looks great. So we're just kind of running roughshod over everything right now, right? That's the idea. The only thing that's a threat to us, like in the entire world, the only thing that could potentially be a threat to us is internal factions with many of them popping at once. One internal faction at a time is not a threat. Many internal factions, however, are a threat, as we've discovered. So that's okay. I want to check if we've finished up this battle over here. We have indeed. We're heading over to Mecca. After we're done with that, we can do something like this and see if just that order finishes it. We do see the Byzantines attacking us down over this way, but that's fine. No major concerns. It's a castle, right? Yes, it is. Beautiful. So we're going to fight down over here. No problem whatsoever. And at this point, what are we going to do? Pursue them down this way? Let's go this way. It's less attrition-y. So that'll be fine. I do want to think about heading up this direction and grabbing that siege. We're at 62% on this war score right now. So the real question here is, how can we get some quick war score? Well, this is actually commanded by the King of Scalovia? No, the King of Lithuania. Okay, we don't actually care about that. Where is the King of Galicia Volhynia? He's actually up over here, thinking about doing some sieging. Okay, that's not relevant. Regent in prison? No, get out of here. Regent is a jerk, and we're just going to continue. Actually, we could just do this. That's fine. Cool. Our regent is a jerk, and we're going to continue to drop the scales of power here a little bit. The regent is going to be a problem, very likely, once we come of age. We'll see what we have to do about that. For the time being, I want to head down this way and see about giving battle, now that we see their army over here. And we're, of course, going to head over and do some sieging as well. So this all looks good. The Peasant Uprising War is over, and we're going to end that one. And our fight for Galicia Volhynia here is very nearly over. So I would like to actually turn around and fight them up here. There's a rather reasonably sized force here. And we're going to win this battle up here, of course. No problem there. That brings us up to 90%, and we're going to go siege. This battle here brings us to 96%. We're not capped from battle war score, but this siege will end the war. So this is fine. I'm not concerned. And there we go. War is over. We'll enforce those demands and disband these troops. Now, as far as the kingdom title here goes, we need to usurp this title, like so. Then we can give it over to, say, Zaporizhia. Or maybe to here. That seems okay. This guy's going to be very happy with his newly acquired locations. I'm going to revoke Zaporizhia from... Actually, no, he's a multiple king. We're not going to do that at this time. So we're just going to do this for right now. White Rus is, of course, going to have to be taken over de jure later on. We're truced with them right now, but we can just seize all de jure lands, and that's not a big deal. So, with our troops put down, and Galicia, Volhynia, and Germany brought into the fold, things are looking up. All we need now is this guy to survive for a couple of seconds. Hopefully he lives for the rest of the game. That would be ideal. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to start making our way up into Scandinavia and possibly attacking the Byzantines again soon. Actually, yes, this is something that's very likely to happen. These de jure lands are not actually highlighting correctly. I'll be restarting the game between now and then. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.